Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with Yanzi Lynn, and today is the day we are talking about Anna, that Star Wars girl, and Kevin Smith. Why these two would tangle in the ring? Why would they get toe-to-toe in the middle of a ring? I have no idea. But yet it's happening. It's happening on Twitter right now. So let's talk about Anna, that Star Wars girl. Some say a freak in nature, web toes, been shot, whatever, all these things, cosplay calendars, but she is a slayer of the Kevin Smith. You want to explain to people what had happened before we tell people what's happening right now?
All right, so for people who do remember, there was this movie that came out recently called Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. And Kevin Smith say, just saw the Black Panther. Jesus, that mid-credit scene, worth the price of admission alone. And he put a picture of himself, tearful at, I guess, it made him emotional and stuff. So this is not the first time, though, that Kevin Smith has taken one of these kind of photos where he shows like, how deeply affected he was by whatever piece of media that came out.
Right. And for people like Kevin, who now some of you may be only old enough to understand that Kevin Smith is a crying man. That's the weird thing. He's a skinny, crying man. Looks like his skin doesn't fit his skeleton. Well, that's because he used to be a jolly fat guy in a trench coat that never said anything, called Silent Bob. Kevin Smith was a filmmaker at one point in time, historically making a movie called Clerks that had a budget of around $16,000. And it made X amount of money. Now, it was independent black and white film, came out of nowhere. The whole thing revolved around some guys in a convenience shop, roughly, and Kevin Smith's character and Jay hanging outside a little bit. And they weren't even the main characters. Now, from there, he had movies like Chasing Amy, but Mallrats was first, and that was a pretty big hit. And that's where Kevin Smith kind of brought in a lot of comic book people to kind of draw like intro scenes. And that's when he really started to plug like he likes comics. Now, Kevin Smith also came in and revitalized Daredevil for Marvel Knights. And that book was on cancellation numbers, and him and Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti had basically brought back Daredevil and brought him to relevance once again. It was a decent enough run, and then he had runs on Green Arrow at DC Comics, and he was such a fan at the time that it was part of his contract when he worked on Green Arrow that they could not end the book once he finished his story arc, that it would have to continue on to whatever issue it continued on, like past him. Like he didn't want the book. He wanted the book to at least have a chance after he stepped off writing it. So, I mean, he did care about the book and characters at the time. And this is kind of like a weird point for Kevin Smith, because we've talked about it with the Masters of the Universe stuff, but you're talking about a guy that had kind of he positioned himself as this geek guy, and everybody believed he was a really big geek guy, and he probably was. And then everybody needed his thumbs up of approval for anything coming out, whether it was a movie, media, if it had something to do with comics and geekdom. Like if the Watchmen movie came out, like he all of a sudden, what did Kevin Smith say about the twist ending from the comic that was different? Or if like there was a new Batman film, well, what does Kevin Smith have to say about it? And you would see this pop up everywhere in Hollywood. Like Kevin Smith, christens the geekdom. And at one point in time, I feel like, in my personal opinion, Kevin Smith's been swapped out with another human being. I don't even think this is the same guy. And I've met Kevin Smith before, and like some of the behavior, the crying, the fifis, it just doesn't seem like the same dude. Now that's going to bring us to today.
Mm-hmm. So in response to what Kevin Smith did over here, this kind of cringy photo, Anna said, "You literally say this about every damn thing you watch. Stop crying a little girl and be a beeping man."
Right.
So, what does Kevin Smith have to say about that? Well, believe it or not, Kevin Smith actually has a response to her. So, it looks like a couple of days later, we have this response. Anna says, "I got a shout out on Kevin Smith's podcast. Yo, I stand by what I said. You're a full-grown man posting pictures of yourself crying over every damn movie. Don't blame it on your dad. He didn't post those pics. Stop crying and be a man." So, what does Kevin Smith respond exactly? Let's have a look.
There's some chick named ThatStarWarsGirl or something like that, and she wrote this fucking screen. She was like, "You're always doing this," and she ended with, be a man. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's
I've been struggling my whole life not to be a man.
yeah,
Grown up fucking teenager.
not to be the version of a man we thought we were supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The man that she was suggesting that I'd be. It's
like our dad's generation.
who didn't fucking cry.
No.
Although my father cried.
I gotta point out, he tries to pretend, and this is very important. He tries to pretend like he doesn't know her name when he actually gets her screen name right. But, you know, oddly enough, he remembers her as that Star Wars girl, even though she's now that Star Trek girl. Different story altogether. But this is interesting because this is a tactic I've seen him do also with other YouTubers such as Clownfish and I think even Yellow Flash. So, like, this is a thing where Kevin Smith wants to engage in people with what would I consider big YouTube pop culture followings. What do you think?
It seems like he's definitely making it a conscious effort to reference all these YouTubers. He had a major beef, like really major, with Clownfish TV, accusing them of lying about him and so on and so forth when they were able to produce receipts. And in the end, it was like Clownfish was vindicated. Kevin Smith, not a peep. So,
well, they were vindicated, but he never apologized to them, from my understanding. Like, basically, he said they were liars, and like, no, we're not. And then, like, in the end, he was like, well, I had to say they were liars not to spoil my own show. And he never went back and apologized for actually calling them kind of liars in that situation. Now, I might have missed a detail, but that's kind of the rough lay of the land between Kevin Smith and Clownfish. The interesting thing, and this is my theory why this is going to happen more and more, is he went from being a guy wanting to make geek shit. Okay, he lost a shit ton of weight. He went to Hollywood, and he was the guy that's supposed to thumbs up everything. Now, his thumbs up and what Kevin Smith says turned into some point in time about being moved to tears, and it became a meme, and he did it every fucking thing now. And Anna's right. Like, if you cry on everything on social media, or does it even matter anymore? It's just
doesn't matter. You only reserve that for kind of like, you want to say this thing has a real impact on me. You know, I'm going to cry for maybe this one particular movie. You don't cry for every single movie you get invited to a premiere to. Then it becomes like, okay, well, hey guys, Kevin Smith is going to cry at this movie. Make sure you get a photo of that, so you can plan that out now.
And there is an idea of being a man, and that's not. It's one thing to cry. Look, I'm a man. If I'm going to cry, I'm going to take a walk in the rain so nobody can see me cry. Okay, like, here's the thing. Like, there is an idea of being a man, and maybe you'll have feelings, and maybe you'll cry, and it's okay to.
But you don't cry at every movie. Like I said, you can get emotional about one or two movies, but not every single movie.
But that's the thing, right? He's not just crying; he's purposely taking a cropped photo of his tears. Like, he can't get the camera close enough. He looks like a fucking basset hound. Okay. Like, it's a joke, and it honestly don't even look like real tears. It looks like he's putting eye drops in and then taking a fucking photo. There's never like video of him crying. It's always just like a still shot of watered eyes. Like, maybe he just cut onions or something. I have no idea. If you show me that picture and you're like, was Kevin Smith cutting onions or was Kevin Smith watching Wakanda Forever? I would say probably cutting onions.
Really, honey, you just totally just challenged him to make a video of himself crying the next time around, you realize?
Well, I mean, at least I could hear him like, man, woo, 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 whatever. Like, I mean, it's a really weird condition he's in right now. What if he's paid to cry? I know that sounds weird, but like a lot of Hollywood and press, they're kind of paid to give their thumbs up on things.
The modern thumbs up from Kevin Smith is, look at all these tears coming down my face.
Well, I mean, God forbid if Hollywood's running up saying like, Kevin, can I pay you to cry for me? Can you cry for my movie? Kevin Smith tears turns into dollars. Like, instead of Rotten Tomatoes, like you get this many, this is your score, 5 stars. It's how many Kevin Smith tears you get. Like, it's a 5-tier Kevin
all right.
Smith.
Let me propose this theory. What if he's purposely engaging with all these YouTubers? See, he had beef with Clownfish and, you know, Anna, all these YouTubers, Yellow Flash. What if he's just really trying to get into their mouths to become relevant to pop culture again? Because after all, his light kind of dimmed in the recent years.
Right. Well, it has. It kind of went away with his weight. And that's another thing. Like, I hate to fat shame somebody, but I used to be fat. I lost a lot of weight, but like his body chemistry is probably so off from what it used to be, the Kevin Smith we like. He's probably a completely different human being at this time. I mean, he could have been like a lizard person, like crawled inside his skin and is walking around pretending to be Kevin Smith, and we really wouldn't understand it. We're at that level of Kevin Smith right now. I mean, used to this guy wore layers of clothing to hide how fat he was, and right now he's wearing layers of clothing again just to hide how skinny he is. Like, look at the pads on this coat. I don't mean to talk shit about it, but look at the pads on this coat right now in this photo. He's trying to look like he's 10 or 15 pounds heavier up top. The guy is like a skeleton. He's like maybe a lizard in like a brown paper bag walking around pretending to be Kevin Smith.
At this point, I just want to say one thing to Kevin Smith, and that is, maybe let's have some more variety in your reactions to movies. Now we can have actually a happy Kevin Smith or a change. Maybe.
Dude, that would shock the world if we saw Kevin Smith smile. I mean, like at a movie, like, you know, who wants to go see a movie because a grown man with a beard is crying? Like, I'm sorry, but who wants to? That's not like, I never said, gee, there's a grown man with a beard crying. Let me go see what that grown man with a beard crying was about. And why drag your father into this? Like, I mean, at some point in time, be a man and don't blame your father for the way you handle your emotions. And again, I don't think they're genuine emotions. That's the thing, right? Like, I mean, is anything genuine here at this point? I mean, the tears aren't genuine. His excuses aren't genuine. The way he pretends he forgets YouTubers' names, but he carefully gets them down pat. You know, she was that Star Trek girl, 66, when, you know, Kevin, when she tweeted at him. But for some reason, he knows it's that Star Wars girl because that's the name that she's famous for. But anyways, guys, a link for Anna's YouTube channel is down below. Please, if you haven't, go check her out and give her a sub. She has fun videos. And also, Inglorious Rex is up. We are getting ready to cross $139,516. We are less than $500 away from hitting 140 and unlocking our next stretch goal, which is every book will be signed by me and Yanzi to you in the mail. We have a couple of books on this campaign. Please go over there, check it out. I will leave you guys with the trailer for this. Hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and we will catch you guys again with another video. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking.
On the scene, I got greatness all in my jeans. Ain't no way that I can slow down. I'm laced up, look how I shake the ground. Can't touch the crown, but you can kiss the ring. Close your eyes and see how I live a dream. I'm too smooth, MJ with the lean. Don't be fooled, I came through with the team. This is over their heads, how high can it go? I'm too over the edge, got my eyes on the goal. And we right back at it, keep them right on their toes. Look at the way that I move, this is all that I know. Cause I got the drive, I put it in gear. Line them up, I don't see no competitors here. If it ain't first place, we really can't settle for it. Listen up, listen up. Get ready.